guys, Pizza coming at you from the heavens, and today is the day that I'm going to film my last video for 2024. It's so surreal that this year has gone by so quickly, and this year's probably been the least dedicated I have been to all my socials and YouTube and Twitch. Today we're going to talk about it. What happened in Jess's 2024 and what are some goals and aspirations I have for 2025. Probably the first and biggest thing that happened this year was the fact that I graduated from university. I graduated my bachelor degree. I don't know what else to say about that. It was a very weird and unique experience, and it was probably the biggest double middle fingers up to most of the teachers I had in life who told me I couldn't do it. Who told me that what I wanted to study was worthless, and a massive applause to the teachers who were there for me and supported me through everything I went through. In saying that, I started my master degree this year, so I started my master in teaching. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I still want to do it. As you guys know, I am determined to finish something I started, so I'm going to keep going with it and see where life takes me after that, because, you know, you might have a number of degrees on your belt, but it doesn't mean you're happy with what you're doing, so see where that road takes me. Another pretty significant event that happened this year, and I think I'm going to struggle talking about this again, because I still do, is Lucky passing away. That was a massive spanner in the works for everything, and I'm still in so much disbelief that that had happened. He was only 5 years old, and he unfortunately had a genetic disease that would have been passed down from his father, which, you know, is obviously something of someone we don't know about because we found him. Yeah, and unfortunately he ended up taking his life in the end. So I went to PAX for the first time this year. That was an insane experience. I finally met my online friend Stack Gemma. She found me through what was Hover back in the day, and we were in each other's streams since and supporting each other from afar. And when I told her that I was going to PAX, I honestly think she actually wet herself on the other side of the phone. Like, it was such a unique and admirable, you know, event, and I'll definitely be there next year, so if y'all see me, make sure you grab me and say hi. I'm looking forward to see where that takes me next year. I think I might do the 3-day pass next year instead of just a 1 day, because I only did the 1 day just to kind of test the waters, see if it's for me, and it definitely is. I really enjoyed it. I also saw Dan and Phil, which that was pretty cool. So for those who don't know, Dan and Phil are probably one of the more OG kind of YouTubers. Like, they were probably within the first lot of like YouTuber jobs that existed, and they have a channel called Dan and Phil Games. There's Amazing Phil, and then there's Daniel Howell, who used to be Dan Is Not On Fire, and I grew up watching them. I heard that they were coming on tour. I immediately bought tickets and we finally saw them, which was the most amazing and unique experience ever, and absolutely loved it. It was so much fun, and they were full of so much energy on stage, and it was just such an amazing environment, and I'm glad I finally got to see them live. The next 3 points are probably more, even though I have touched on Lucky, this is more of the sad part of myself. This year, I felt lonely. And it feels weird saying that. As you guys know, I started my master degree this year, and the biggest reason of my absence was because of my master degree. Because I smashed out 9 classes this year, which was insane. I would never do that again. I just had no time to reach out to friends, I had no time to catch up with friends, and I had no time for you guys, I had no time for my streaming, I had literally no time to do anything, and seeing all my friends on social media having fun and all that sort of stuff kind of made me realise that I'm probably prioritising the wrong thing here. I'm prioritising education over life. That's definitely one of my bigger goals next year, is to actually make more time for myself and life, and still concentrate on studies, but I feel like I need to start putting myself first and allow myself to enjoy life as it is. I experienced burnout for the first time. I've reached a point this year where I just couldn't be bothered anymore. I just was like, you know what, that's the best I can do, and just You can have it. It showed in my grades, I'll give you that much. I didn't fail anything, one class I barely passed. The other two I did pretty well in, which I was shocked about. But it was just, I reached a point where I was like, I don't care anymore. And it showed when I was at home, because I had zero motivation to do YouTube, I had zero motivation to do Twitch, I had zero motivation to go to work, I had zero motivation to do stuff at work, I had zero motivation to organise and meet up with people. I was just burnt out and I just had no time to recharge. And for those who are wanting to study, make sure that you have a life ready for full-time study, and if you don't think you do, go part-time. My biggest regret this year is not going part-time and allowing myself to be young and enjoy life. Instead, I've just decided to smash it out and get it out of the ballpark, and in result of that, I probably have lost more knowledge than gained. It's so much fun studying, I'll tell you that much, but be prepared for what you're knuckling down for. Another big thing, this year has not been the greatest for my health. So for those who look at my community tab, I try to keep you guys updated as much as I can in that community tab. Pretty much you would have seen at the beginning of this year and probably around mid this year that I was really sick. I had 2 spouts of different things. The first time was actually inconclusive. I had these horrific stomach pains. I had no idea where they were coming from. It got to the point where it was waking me up in the middle of the night and I had no idea what was going on. I genuinely thought my stomach was imploding. Like I thought I was going to explode. I never felt so much pain before in my life. I've broken ribs before, I've broken bones before. Jeez, I've ripped like half an eyelid off before, you know, and nothing compared to this pain that I experienced. I ended up in urgent care. I ended up in hospital twice. I ended up in a couple of places and it was just all inconclusive. And probably the closest thing to a diagnosis was from a doctor, and he said, I'm probably just too stressed, because they checked for everything. They were convinced I had a stomach ulcer, they were convinced I had cancer, they're convinced I had this, and convinced I had that, and I'm like, Then they went to check if it's gastritis. It wasn't gastritis, so that's why they just turned to inconclusive. Part of me wonders if it was stress, because I'm the kind of person where I stress myself out and I did have a lot on my plate, so it probably was just stress. The stomach issues eventually went away, and I think it was just because I started finding better coping mechanisms and better ways to release my stress, and I appreciate you guys for supporting me all the way through that. So I had a pretty severe chest infection. I was in urgent care with that as well. Then I realized pretty quickly they gave me some medication. They gave me the wrong medication, and they put me on some medication which unfortunately encouraged me to gain some weight. So I managed to gain a little bit of weight, and it's bothering me because it's bothered my self-confidence. Shortly after, I managed to catch COVID, and this was the first time I almost ever went into hospital with respiratory distress, because my breathing was not the same. I was having daily asthma attacks. That was probably the most scary, and when I had a phone call appointment with a doctor, because obviously I had COVID, I couldn't go in a doctor's surgery. They said if I had one more asthma attack, I would need to go and be admitted into hospital. And that was borderline terrifying, because I've never ended up in hospital with an asthma attack before, and I never want to, and I never wanted to. So I worked really hard on making sure I was taking my medication on time, and you know, if I felt the slight twinge, I would go and take it and all that sort of stuff. And you know, thankfully I didn't end up in hospital, but it was enough to knock me back. And shortly, I'm kind of glad, because at the same time, shortly after that was when Lucky passed away. So the extra time at home I managed to spend with him. Pretty much with all of this junk combined together, I learned a little bit more about myself this year. Another thing I wanted to point out, I took this year off dating. So I'm still single, but I decided not to date this year, just because I had so much going on and I needed to figure out myself before I felt like I could move forward. I simply just decided, you know what, nope, not gonna do it. I've had a couple of guys try and reach out, but I'm like, sorry, not interested. And it killed me because I was like, I'm a very hopeless romantic kind of person. It kind of killed me just to turn these people away, and I was just settled on just, you know what, I need to put myself first because I don't want to hurt anyone else. Yeah, so I took the year off from dating, and through that, I think I gained a lot more respect for myself. I have had let boys walk all over me in the past, and I have let my mental health get in the way with things before as well. So I spent this year working a lot on that, and overall I'm kind of glad I did, because next year, new chapter baby, I'm gonna go it. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, see where next year takes me. So new chapter, hopefully. So, and I learnt that I can be a resilient person on my own. So normally I used to rely on a close friend of mine or a partner to help me bounce back, but I soon realized how draining that must have been for them, and that now I need to try and do it for myself, which I know sounds like a very selfish thing, you know, relying on other people, but I don't think I knew any better at the time. Learning to stand up for myself or bouncing back on myself, you know, was such an important skill that I didn't have. Spending this year through all these challenges just on my own made me feel like, yes, I'm actually a stronger person than I think. I've learned that I'm really passionate about, you know, Twitch and YouTube. I've learned that I'm very passionate about working with people with difficulties. I've found that I'm, you know, very passionate about helping people, and I'm glad that I can do that, but I need to remember I need to put myself first, and that should always be the number one priority, is putting yourself first. So yeah, in saying that, here are some of my goals for 2025. My first and foremost is to finish my degree. I finish my degree next year, which is insane, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because I'm overstudying, and see where life takes me then. I don't know what I'm going to look for in that job. I have some thoughts of where I want to go, but like I said, I just need to see where this road takes me. Another one is to prioritize myself and to prioritize self-care. I spend a lot of time doing things for you guys. I spend a lot of time doing things for Twitch. I spend a lot of time doing things for uni. I spend a lot of time doing things for family and friends, but I don't often spend a lot of time doing things for myself, and I need to start putting that a bit more forward and put myself first a lot more with that. Fingers crossed that next year I can start doing a little bit more in that sense, and start learning a bit more about what my self-care is. Might need to look into some mindful books, might need to get back into my artworks, might need to start being a bit more arty again, and see where we go with that. For YouTube next year, my goal is to at least post twice a week, with shorts posted every single day. In saying that, I'm hoping to reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. I know this year I think I set my goal for 800 or 700, with obviously the lack of my posting, the lack of you know, me uploading, lack of communication, lots of stuff. It's obviously affected it. So hopefully this time next year it'll be 1K, but I'll be happy if I get at least 800 subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe, tickle the like button, and share with your friends. I appreciate every single form of support, and this is my ultimate dream job. So if y'all can make it a reality, that would be amazing. With Twitch, I would like to stream at least 2 nights or 2 days a week on Twitch. I normally do my Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays, so sometimes Saturdays can be a bit difficult with one of my jobs, but you know, I'm happy just to do at least 2 days a week where I can sit down and stream with you guys, because y'all are pretty awesome. I also have the goal of reaching potentially 700 followers on Twitch, which that would be awesome. Be a bit more involved in the communities that I am part of. So another positive thing that happened this year was that I got invited to be part of a stream team. I had the CEOs of Screams reach out to me and invite me to be part of their team. I cried about it for about 10 minutes and I was like, yeah, I'll totally do that. So now I'm part of a stream team, which is pretty cool. Comment down below some of your goals for next year. I am planning to make an affirmation board so I could have some goals and some positive words on there that I can hang up in my room that I could admire. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. Way at the like button, make sure you subscribe, and way at the subscribe button, make sure you tick on the notification bell. Happy New Year, everyone, and I will see you next year. Bye!